Going green is taking green out of your pockets. Neighborworks America, finding affordable housing, and just how bad is the market anyway?
Next on Real Estate News You Can Use. Welcome to Real Estate News You Can Use with Keith and Ruben. What's up?
I promised something, dude, and I'm going to deliver. We're going to go low. We're going to go low, though. Ready? Boom!
You know what? We should have started the show like that.
Well, we kind of did, you know?
Yeah. You okay? Did you
I'm fine. Are you
Sure.
okay? You look like you're going to have to go to the hospital or something. You're gonna probably like have internal bleeding. I'm sure of it. You just you're getting a little pale already. The blood's draining out of your system already.
That's the lights. Those are the lights. Anyways. Dude, don't complain when Ann says something about the bruising, If this is the first time being on the show, Real Estate News You Can Use is a podcast about the real estate and mortgage industry where we pick 3 articles, choose 3 interesting articles, and provide our own commentary and our own little spin on it, Keith.
Sorry about that.
Right?
Yes.
So, anything new? Any news you want to add before the news?
No news before we add the... Well, I just want to encourage people to please go to renewsyoucanyuse.com because we have a lot of stuff in there that is helpful and free.
Helpful and free.
Giddy up.
I like that.
renewsyoucanyuse.com.
renewsyoucanyuse.com.
Or I guess you can go to Google and search Real Estate News You Can Use and maybe you find us.
You can do that too.
Yeah? Okay.
Our first article is from realestatejournal.com.
Yeah.
It says, consumers spending green to do green at the home.
Yeah, going green. It's basically an article about going green. We've been talking about that before. Going green, to me, is something that is more of a luxury than anything else because it can get very, very expensive.
Well, we have been talking about going green for many episodes. I think it's just becoming obviously a more written about topic. But this is actually a great article only because it actually talks about the costs. And I think everyone is concerned about costs.
Right.
When you think about a hybrid car, that's going to cost more than a regular car. So
this article didn't talk about the back end, though. It said, well, it did a little bit, but it said, okay, it's going to cost about 15% more. Somewhere between
5 to 19%.
5 to 19%. So let's say 15%. It's going to cost 15% more to get your house green or to build a house from scratch and make it green, but it could cost a lot more than that too, as we learned from a particular person who thought it was going to cost $450 to fix their house. They ended up having to tear it down.
Right, tear it down and spend $1.2 million. Well, they're going to spend $450 for a 400,000 square foot house. So what they ended up having to do was tear the whole 4,000 square foot house. And then what they ended up doing was spend 1.2 on a 2,700 square foot house.
Yeah, that's just.
I mean, obviously that's an extreme
crazy
example, but I mean, you just got to be aware. 5 to 19% if you got to go green.
It was funny in the article. She says, "I don't think we're going to get our money back for what we've invested." I'm like,
but you know what?
No, that's not going to happen.
Those people, like you said, it's a luxury, and they don't care.
Right, it is a luxury.
In fact, what did they say? They said that
they're tree huggers.
No.
My dad's a tree hugger.
Whoever they say in this article, they said the consumer really doesn't care, and they know that they're not going to get the ROI.
Right, they know they're not going to get their money back, but they believe in...
They believe in saving the environment, and if it's going to do that, then it's worth it.
They're very earth conscious. So good for them. Yeah. I mean, but basically I was thinking, and as I was reading this, I'm saying, if you just really do a good job insulating your house and you save on the fuel costs, isn't that being energy efficient? And then in turn being green? And that's exactly what the article ends up talking about.
Right.
Is that, you can just be really conservative and not spend a whole lot of money and be green by being very good with your insulation.
In fact, they say the average homeowner is probably the greenest because they don't spend...
the current homeowner.
Yeah. The current homeowner is actually the greenest because they don't spend the time and money to
tear things down
and put them back in. So makes sense.
It's a very good point.
Let's see. The second article is from RISmedia.com. Neighborworks America. Neighborworks America seeks nonprofit solutions to growing number of empty homes.
Yeah, well, we kind of heard something about this in the past where people are complaining, like, hey, listen, all these empty homes, why don't we put, renters in there, or why don't we do something else with them to make it work for low-income housing? I think that's well and good, providing that it doesn't disturb the neighborhood type. So let's say it's an upper-class neighborhood. You don't want to have, I don't know, what am I trying to say? I don't want to insult anybody, but you have to make sure that there's a cohesiveness within the neighborhood.
So basically, no one would want you in their neighborhood, is that what you're
Basically,
saying?
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. If it's $1 million neighborhood, you don't want to put me in there.
Any hoodlums or
Right.
Yeah, okay, ragamuffins.
Yeah, stuff like that. Exactly.
Okay.
You know exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm going.
No, but you know what? This is a great article because I think, if they were going to be empty, obviously we know empty homes affect everybody. Crime, whatever, prostitution, all that. All that stuff shoots up.
An empty home is a sad home.
No, but I'm great. I'm glad they're trying to do what they have to do. That's it.
That was a tear. I am too. I mean, I agree. I think but if you can fill the homes up, that's great. Excellent.
Right.
Just make sure
It's better for the community.
It is better for the community, but I'd hate to see that. As long as they can pay the taxes.
Right.
That's.
Well, obviously the banks aren't going to give it to them for free.
Right.
Anyways, so just how bad is the market? That's what Bankrate.com is asking in the next article that we're going to talk about. And I think this is a great article, Keith. We pretty much threw them under the bus last week. An article that they wrote.
They listened to us.
They listened to us. See, we're actually doing.
That's
we're
right.
Actually,
That's
we're
right.
actually doing things.
How you feeling, by the way? Because you look a little pale. Is it you still?
No, I'm doing fine.
How's that bruising?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I think I'll be out of.
You're right to make it to this next.
I'll be
article?
okay. Thanks for your concern.
Sure.
Anyways, what Bankrate's saying is that current trends, which include significant jumps in the numbers of foreclosures and overdue mortgage payments, certainly aren't pretty. Though finding accurate and useful numbers is a challenge, and yes, it is, Keith. So why don't you discuss some of the numbers that were?
Well, it says. There were 2.2 million notices sent to 1.28 million homeowners last year saying that they were heading towards foreclosure and they were going to be shutting down the doors. Now, it doesn't say the exact number of foreclosures that occurred, but of the 1.28 million, I'm sure that is probably fairly close to that number that actually foreclosed in 2007. Nationally, even 1.2 million, even if there was 1.2 million foreclosures, this is interesting too. 1.2 million foreclosures is only reflective of less than 1% of the nation's homes.
Right. No,
Which
that's
is interesting.
I mean, I think this goes back to the saying is there's two sides of a story, right?
Yes.
And this is why I love this story so much, is because it's not necessarily just saying, oh, the market's bad, the market's bad, the market's bad. It's saying that, hey, check it out, check the numbers out. Saying, yes.
That's me. That's a heart going like this. Love.
That's love?
It's love. Eddie, maybe you can get a heart. You can get a heartbeat for that.
Even though the numbers seem bad, I mean, you got to look at the facts, and you got to, hey,
right,
do your own digging. And I think this is what this article really does. So if you are interested in checking out this article, if you're in real estate or if you're mortgage, check out this article and send it to your buyers or potential home buyers or whoever they are, or potential sellers, because it's really important that they know this information from this perspective.
Right. So let's assume that the worst case scenario, 1% of the U.S. homes go into foreclosure. That's what they're basically saying. That's what we're at.
Right.
So 1% really isn't that bad, because although if you break it down, 1 out of 100, somebody mentioned that earlier, 1 out of 100 homes sounds like a lot, but it's still not as bad as people, I think, perceive. In addition to that, there's a conversation here that talks about the ARMs.
Right.
And it says ARM resets about 3.3 million loans or 2.6 million households.
2.6%.
2.6% of the households are going to have a refi of their, a reset of their loan to a higher number. So it's only
this year or next year.
Right. So there's only 2.6% of all households. So that's not huge.
Percentages don't seem that bad, but hey, check out the new articles at renewsyoucanuse.com. I'm Ruben.
And I'm Keith.
Make it a great day.
Stay classy, America.